Greetings, Missouri Mid-South Conference. If I have the rested look of a conference minister who is excited about our conference annual gathering, then yes, indeed, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday of this week, we will be together celebrating how we are energizing ministry for a new day at our conference annual gathering in Columbia, Missouri. Woohoo! I hope that you are registered. I hope that you have your hotel room either at the Holiday Inn or one of the area hotels. And I want to say a special shout out to our conference staff, to Nia Chandler, who has done phenomenal work in getting the website, the registration, the directory, all kinds of things. I want to give a great shout out to our conference annual gathering planning team led by Jane Porchy, with Rick Oberly, Kimmy Yokoyama, Shamar Jordan, David Mayle, wonderful folks who are all working very hard and diligently to have everything ready for all of you. We, to this point, have about 237 who are registered for conference annual gathering, and I'm looking forward to our time together. One of the pieces that you will have the opportunity, both in the e-courier, but also we have printed just a few, about 40 copies, is a temporary Missouri Mid-South Conference directory. Wow! When I first came a year and a half ago, the one that we were using is wonderful, but is rather old. 3 years, almost 4 years now of material and information that has changed very rapidly. So this is our temporary directory that will get us until probably the end of 2017, the beginning of 2018, when we will do a more thorough directory. I'm going to name right now that there are mistakes in this directory. Because it's temporary, we tried to put together as much as we could in a very relatively short amount of time. And so I will name that there are mistakes. Please feel free to send us the revisions and the corrections, and we will correct those for the new directory. Speaking of which, I want to introduce someone who is new to our conference office staff, and that is our temporary office manager, Gail Rosenberg. She will be working 20 hours a week and has been with us for about a week and a half and doing phenomenal work. She is supporting us in the office day-to-day operation. She's also supporting the volunteer receptionist so that everyone is getting what they need from the conference office staff. So please welcome Gail. Her contact information will be in the written part of the summary right below my video. So I hope that you are able to include that. In the past few days, in our nation and in our world, there have been some jarring moments, filled with anxiousness, filled with fear, filled with anger and frustration, from the terrorist attacks both in Manchester, in the Portland area, and most recently in London, that causes us to want to cling tightly to what we know, what we think is secure, and to repel anything that may feel dangerous or risky or unknown, anyone, anything. And I invite us to unclench ourselves as Jesus himself embodied how to unclench and have courage in how we live and how we trust one another, even when we may want to not trust and protect ourselves from what we think is or are dangerous people. We are all made in God's image, and this is one of those moments where we need to lean into the courageous love of Christ rather than separating ourselves from the fear of our humanity. I also want to lift up that, I don't know about you, but in the recent decision for our country not to continue with the Paris Climate Accords, there was great concern within me, anxiousness, frustration, anger, because I live in a world that is a gift from God, and how we care for the world is how we love our God. And so in removing ourselves, for whatever reason, from this significant agreement that almost all of the countries of our beloved world have agreed to, gives me great concern. And yet, what I am reminded and what I offer as my reminder to us is that we are an Easter people. And just in the moment when the fear and the anxiousness and the unknown surrounds us, the Good Friday moments of life and culture and power and greed, and when we think that there is nothing else but that around us, and that there is no sense of hope anywhere near us, still God's love not only survives, but God's love thrives. God's love gives new life. And as we celebrated last Sunday, and as we will celebrate again at our conference annual gathering, God's love is energized in a Pentecost spirit that reminds us that ours is to respect and love and to birth the very image and voices and language and diversity of God that is throughout God's world. So in the midst of our fear, do not cling to what is safe and secure and known. Let us lean into the courage that it takes to open ourselves to the goodness of God's love around us. I offer today and this week, in light of the challenges of the terrorist attacks domestically and internationally, as well as difficult decisions regarding the Paris Climate Accords. As our meditation, I invite us to hear a psalm that was written as a paraphrase by Nan Merrill in Psalms for Praying, an Invitation to Wholeness. I strongly recommend, this is my go-to in those moments where I just need some groundedness and some reminder that God is our companion, and God has been with humanity and all of creation, and God will continue to be with humanity and indeed all of creation. So hear these words and listen for the spirit of God's presence. Who among us hears the cries of the poor? How many open their hearts and heed the call? The plight of the world is a wound to the very heart of love, a scar on our own souls. Blessed are those who lovingly respond. The friend who knows all hearts will remember their kindness. They will know their joy, peace, and deep fulfillment working in harmony with all who serve toward healing the needs of this troubled world. As for me, I prayed, O soul mender, be gracious unto me, for I have been deaf to those in need. My fears paralyzed me. I am bound like a prisoner held in my own house, alone and abandoned. Each fear I push away or deny, rise up with power. Feeling anxious, lies and deceits take the place of truth. I can hide no longer my confusion. The way I blame others have turned even my friends away. O divine healer, help me face the fears that threaten to overwhelm me. Without your guidance, they will bring about what I fear most. I am on my knees asking forgiveness. Give me strength to turn all that separates me from you into love and kindness. You who are unconditional love, you who do not judge our weaknesses, raise me up, that I may be renewed in body, mind, and soul. By this I know that you have graciously forgiven me. Fear did not triumph over me, though my heart was broken open so the light could enter in. You upheld me, filled me with integrity, and opened my heart to the poor. Blessed be the beloved, loving presence to all hearts open to love, from everlasting to everlasting. Amen. My brothers and sisters of the Missouri Mid-South Conference, may divine love be our companion, that in the moments of fear, the divine light may radiate within, breaking forth and offering guidance, wisdom, love, in all that we are and in all that God has created us and is creating us to be. Let us seek to be agents of love, this day and forevermore. Amen.